check, check. be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the 5th commencement ceremony for the Thaden School. To the families, friends, and loved ones who have gathered with us today, thank you for joining us in this moment of celebration and reflection. Most of all, welcome and congratulations to the graduating class of 2005. Today is a day to honor your hard work, your growth, your resilience, and your accomplishments. You've navigated challenges, embraced opportunities, and left your unique mark on this school. We are proud of who you are, and even more excited about who you are becoming. This ceremony marks both an ending and a beginning. It is a moment to pause and take pride in how far you've come and to look forward with hope and courage to all that lies ahead. So this afternoon, we gather not only to celebrate the diplomas being awarded, but to celebrate the journeys, the friendships, the learning, and the dreams that have brought us to this moment. Let's begin this ceremony with joy, with gratitude, and with hearts full of promise. Now I'd like to invite to the stage Robert Apple and Sienna Fusco to read a poem for our invocation.
Hello. Today I'm going to be reading Catullus 46, and Sienna is going to be reading a English translation done by our very own Dr. Noreen Kopernik. Iam ver gelidos re fertepores, iam caeli furor aequin noctialis, iucundus zephiri silescitaureis, linquantur frigii catsulle capi, nicaequae ager uber aestuosae, ad claras asiae volemus orbes, iam mens prae trepidans avet vagari, iam laeti studio pedesvigescunt. O dulces comitum valete coetus, longe quos simula domo profectos, diversae variae viae reportant.
Springtime now brings back the warmth and thaw. The raging sky now grows calm with a friendly golden breeze. Our fields left behind and fertile, sweltering farms, let us fly to big cities, exotic places. My trembling spirit now lusts to wander. My feet excitedly step up for adventure. Farewell, O sweet class of friends. Though journeying far from home, somehow, some way, our different paths lead us back.
Now we will invite 3 student speakers to reflect on the collective journey of the class of 2025. First, we will have the pioneer speaker. The pioneer speaker holds the esteemed role of class historian, offering a heartfelt reflection on the graduating class's shared journey. With a spirit akin to that of Louise Thaden, a trailblazing aviator who carved new paths with courage and determination, this graduating class has forged its own way forward, embracing challenges, resilience, and vision. Through stories, memories, and milestones, the pioneer speaker brings to life the moments that have shaped the class, celebrates their shared triumph over obstacles, and honors their remarkable achievements. This narrative serves as both a tribute to their collective spirit of exploration and growth and a bridge to the exciting futures that await them. Please welcome to the stage our pioneer speaker for the class of 2025, Emery Brandt.
Hey everyone, parents, grandparents, friends and family, faculty and staff. Thank you guys all so much for being here to celebrate this final moment with us. Love this. This last hurrah in celebration of our final time here at Thaden. It's been a long adventure. It's actually not supposed to cross to the other side, is it? It's been a long adventure, and in a few hours it'll officially be over. But first I wanted to reflect a little bit, because so much change and growth and evolution has occurred here, and I think that deserves some well-earned attention. And there are so many things that I could talk about as being memorable. I mean, there's the COVID days, there's the college trips, there's the long journey through college applications. But I think that it'll be the small moments that we'll miss the most and not even realize it. Those familiar sounds and actions that have made this place our home and the Thaden that we know it to be. I mean, I know I can still hear the metallic clanging of lockers and giddy conversation on our way to lunch every day back in middle school. And remember when we used to put our backpacks up right before we went to eat? And it was this like communal time when we would all gather together and talk about our day and whatever as we walked to lunch. Now, my lockers feel like little more than like an afterthought. I mean, I hardly even use them, but I do know that I'll always have the food locker burned into my mind. That disgusting point of, I don't even know. But there's also the animals on campus. Those frequent walks that we would take in English to go see the chickens, and the collective pause in class as a fox trotted by the window and we would all just stop and stare. And the grasshoppers. I'll never forget the hundreds of grasshoppers that litter the sidewalks every fall as you go from class to class. They're buzzing and clicking, and it's a reminder that the school year's just begun. It's like a celebration. And this one's to my art people, but that earthy smell of clay that's home to the art room, the synthetic, thick smell of paint, the clicking of the kiln in the background, the warmth of the cups and bowls and sculptures that came out of the kiln, the scraping and rubbing of pastel and charcoal, and the chattering of a dozen people discussing anything and everything. Theater, too, will be unforgettable for so many reasons. The pure, unbridled chaos of opening night, the toxic smell of disinfectants and base and foundation, and, of course, the suppressed laughter of really any one of us, just trying our best not to die by the hands of Miss Mangert. And there's the games that we played at Camp War Eagle. We played pickleball and basketball and volleyball. Those hours that we spent outside in that thick sludge of humidity, we were sliding around on logs and platforms and scaling up walls. And there's the laughter that bounced off of those hard concrete floors as we played card games and picture roulette. And then, of course, there are all the teachers and staff that I know we'll all miss. Mr. Slayton and his daily fit checks in English, his frequent visits to my physics class and his ever-bushy mustache. Dr. B, a never-ending source of knowledge and sarcasm, the towering epitome of a demigod when I was in middle school. And Dr. Beach, sweetness and kindness personified. Miss King, the inspiration for Ron Swanson and the coolest historian I've ever known. And then there's Miss Kate, of course. I mean, she's the best. What more is there to say for someone who day in and day out exudes kindness and care and understanding? I know I'm gonna miss saying hi to her every single day as I pass through the office. And then there's Miss Boniudo, Dr. Bonham, Chef Kufner, Miss Sandig, Coach Sagely, Dr. Chin, Dr. Covington, Coach White, Mr. Dinger, Miss Bilefus, Chef B, Miss Hayes, Dr. Janoff, Miss Mangert, and Miss Strickland. I mean, that is... Let me pause as we gaze at the plane. That list of people that I just read off is not even close to the amount of faculty that we have here and the amount of incredible people that we have here. And I know that I'm gonna miss talking to them every single day and all of their advice and in-depth conversations. And I think that it's this large group of people that just shows how strong our community has become. The unseen work of each of our teachers shows its fruit through each one of us. And all the growth that we've gone through and encountered over the last several years is because of their hard work. And of course, because of the support of the friends and family that are here today. Thank you guys so much for your constant support and advice and kindness every day. There's so much that is worthy of remembrance, and it's hard to list it all. But it's because of your support that we have these memories in the first place. So from every one of us to you, thank you guys so much.
Next, we have the wingmate speaker. The wingmate speaker offers a heartfelt expression of gratitude on behalf of the graduating class. In aviation, a wingmate is a trusted companion who flies alongside, providing unwavering support and collaboration, just like the many individuals who have accompanied these graduates on their journey. This speaker reminds us that no journey, not even Louise Thaden's pioneering path, is accomplished alone. They honor the teachers, families, friends, and broader school community whose guidance, encouragement, and care have made the class's achievements possible. Through this speech, the class is asked to reflect on the profound importance of gratitude and to acknowledge those who have flown alongside them every step of the way. Please welcome the wingmate speaker for the class of 2025, Valeria Rodriguez Juarez.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Molloy. To kind of start off the second speech, I want to start with the quote that I think embraces our grade really well. Mientras uno está vivo, uno debe que amar lo más que pueda. Or, while one is alive, one must love all they can. Jacobo Morales, Puerto Rican actor and poet. When I think of our class, I think about what living in the moment has taught me, especially together. That, of course, has looked very different for all of us here. But to be here today, along my peers, shows our prosperity, not just as students, but as the community that we have built. Although it has taken tremendous effort to be here, to be as close as we are now, and to be here graduating, I cannot think of a better way to display our growth as individuals. I think that it is important to note that our numbers have decreased during these past 4 years, adding to our diverse and loud personality. With our boldness comes our open and never-ending support for each other, making us a group with a lot of heart. For example, earlier this year, we took a great trip to Camp War Eagle, and we were presented with a team-building challenge. The challenge was to get everyone across a moving rope without getting hit by the rope. The camp counselors offered strategies and encouragement, but our grade being the way we are, we wanted to do it our way. It wasn't working. The first few times, we were told our method was too hard, too complicated, that we should find an easier way to do it, like their way. They were very annoyed with us, but we were all working together, so we thought, that's the point, no? Even against all odds, and a couple of tries later, we completed the challenge. Although it is hard to ignore our chaos, our traits enhance our unwavering determination for each other. Whether it's going to Will's concerts or Sienna's recitals, visiting Marissa at Chipotle or Robbie at Airship, or observing the night at Mr. Petrick's singing Everybody Wants to Rule the World all bunched up together. In other words, it's thanks to our classmates and to each other that we are all here, celebrating our hard work. Most of the obstacles we have faced and the achievements we have earned is thanks to the foundation that we have created. To my classmates, on behalf of each other, thank you for being in my class. Thank you for being our class. A love of our strength has blossomed thanks to the experiences and education of our mentors. Many of these contributions are not as visible, but definitely significant. Our grade took full advantage and appreciates the effort that the people that we look up to for support and guidance have put in for us. Thaden has always had such a unique set of individuals in these roles. And though some of them may not work at Thaden anymore, their impact has definitely left a mark. This has manifested in several ways. In our English classes, for example, we were encouraged, for a grade, to think outside the box. In English class of our sophomore year, we read The Visit by Frederick Durand-Mott. The story follows Alfred Ill, once a respected and beloved figure in his town, whose past betrayer of Claire Zickendasian, denying paternity and causing her public disgrace, returns to haunt him when she offers a fortune in exchange for his life. Mr. Slayton, our teacher, pushes to question the why in class. Little did he know, I'm sure he knew, of the debate it would cause. Should he live? Should he not? Should the town keep the money? I don't know. All right. I remember vividly one time that once all the classes caught up to the climax of the story, we were outside the Great Hall at the orange tables. There was a very big debate going on. There were looks, stares from teachers and students passing by going to lunch because of our volume. There like I said, been a lot of loud discussions, but at the end of the day, that's what it was. It was a debate where both sides were willing to hear each other's perspectives. I think many of us, myself included, forget the privilege of having someone teach us, push us to look forward to something that we wouldn't look at otherwise. I could go on and on about how we have flourished, but really it's only thanks to such lessons. Not only have these teachers and staff taught us, but they have also guided us through life. They have been our mentors. They have lifted us, piloted us forward, and encouraged us as students at a time of transition. We know it's not easy, but our voices and intellect have only grown stronger. So on behalf of the grade, and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Next, we have the Roots and Wings speaker. The Roots and Wings speaker reflects on the Thaden graduating class's shared journey, delivering a message of hope and inspiration for the future. Drawing from Louise Thaden's passion for flight and her determination to overcome challenges, the speaker highlights the boundless potential awaiting each graduate. Guided by the Thaden community as their navigation system, graduates are encouraged to keep their internal compass steady and their flight plans clear as they embrace the unknown with courage, resilience, and purpose. This speech sends the class forward with a call to aim high, pursue their dreams, and carry on the legacy of determination and ambition that defines the spirit of Thaden. Please welcome to the stage our Roots and Wings speaker for the class of 2025, Eva Becker.
Hi everyone. Thank you all for being here today and gathering to celebrate the class of 2025 and all of our momentous achievements. It may sound like a cliche, but the class of 2025 is truly a group like no other Thaden has had the privilege of teaching. Emery was right about this thing. Oh no! I got it, guys. We'll just leave it down for now. Words that often come to mind during discussion of our class are loud, passionate, accomplished, and most importantly, energetic. This energy is one, as Thaden faculty would quickly point out, that is not easily contained. Our unbridled energy is one of our class's strongest attributes. It provides us with seemingly limitless motivation, curiosity, passion, and opinions. Perhaps our class motto should be most opinionated. It would certainly suit us. To put this in scientific terms, if the class of 2025 was a substance being researched in a lab, and researchers would likely find that it is highly reactive and volatile, and yet incredibly versatile in its uses. With college, careers, and new adult lives on the horizon, the class of 2025 is on the cusp of change. I would encourage my classmates to view our futures as one would a science experiment. Develop a hypothesis of what the future may hold, but don't become too attached to it. Observe reactions to your new environment, but only take stock in the averages of these results. Don't let one moment define your conclusions or attitudes. Explore everything with curiosity and an open mind, because the world has so much to offer each of us, and taking full advantage of these opportunities will require getting out of our comfort zones. Be prepared to troubleshoot. Just because something doesn't align with your hypothesis of the future doesn't mean it's destructive or can't be worked around. My hypothesis for the future of our class is, if the class of 2025 is introduced to a new environment with a greater concentration of other substances, it will produce greater, larger, and more substantial reactions, which will leave a permanent and lasting impression on its immediate surroundings and beyond. As we learned in Dr. B's ICAPS class, potential energy is the unused energy within a substance, and it is measured by its position relative to other objects. The class of 2025 has an abundance of potential energy, which lies waiting to be used as we sit before the vastness and uncertainty of all that awaits. We have built up this potential energy at Thaden by developing clubs, student organizations, projects, and struggling through increasingly difficult classes. This energy will soon be actualized in the form of kinetic energy, or the energy of motion, as it propels us into our futures and the seemingly endless new experiences ahead. If the trials and tribulations of the Thaden education have taught our class one lesson, it is that our energy, when channeled into attaining goals and making change, can bring us endless accomplishments and opportunities. Our class's commitment to advocacy has been on full display countless times, but one of my favorite examples is when we spent a week of sophomore year petitioning to reclaim access to our hub space during lunch, an effort that required numerous rounds of negotiation, petitioning, and of course, protest. However, as the class of 2025 knows all too well, energy is not the only requirement for successful reaction. To make effective change and yield results from hard work, one must advocate effectively and with appropriate strategy. As we each exit the stage and launch into our futures, I urge us all to think not only of the energy we bring, but also of the strategies we must use to achieve our goals. Even molecules with sufficient energy will not react if they are in improper orientation. Or put it another way, energy without strategy will rarely yield productive results. The law of conservation of energy dictates that energy can be neither created nor destroyed. It simply changes forms. As each of us leaves Thaden and explores new habitats, I encourage us not to forget the things we've built and created here or the energy we leave behind. The class of 2025 has truly been a mentor class to the younger generations of Thaden students. From enthusiastic PGC leaders and club affinity group founders. One second. The class of 2025 has left a lasting impression on the entirety of Thaden. This energy will not end with our Thaden careers. It will simply change forms and trade hands, continuing to shape and guide the following generations of Thaden students. I invite each of you to remember the class of 2025 as Thaden's most energetic and passionate class. As you walk down the halls next fall, remember how our class used to fill it with laughter, along with the occasional shouting. And rest assured, there will be no quiet dorm room, student union, or workplace where a member of our class is present. As many of us venture into different corners of our country and region, I encourage us all to remember our roots at Thaden, along with the grit, determination, and energy our class has built here. In the words of Thaden's first kindergarten class that so generously sang to us at senior campout, "You will grow, and I will love you still." There will always be a place for us here at Thaden, and as we each grow and change, should our energy become depleted, revisiting this place and reconnecting with the energy we've left behind will surely provide a much-needed refuel. I am sure that these relationships and memories will provide us with endless replenishment we may draw on to propel us throughout our futures, anchoring us to the valuable and lifelong lessons we have shared. Thank you.
Our esteemed commencement speaker needs no introduction in these parts. That said, I'd like to provide a few words of reflection about his legacy in these parts and make sure everyone knows how honored we are to have him here with us today. 9 years ago, Dr. Marsh embarked on the audacious journey to create a school from scratch and build it from the ground up. He was a visionary who possessed the rare ability to transform dreams into reality. He brought together a group of talented and accomplished colleagues, each sharing his bold vision for the future of education. Philanthropists, architects, landscapers, faculty, community partners, administrative staff, and families alike rallied behind him, drawn by his unwavering dedication and his transformative vision. Dr. Marsh embarked on a noble quest to remake education into something truly extraordinary. Guided by a mission statement that would serve as a North Star for years to come, he set out to provide a balanced and challenging education that would ignite a passion for discovery, prepare students for college, and inspire lives of integrity, purpose, and responsible global citizenship. It was the vision of a school that cared less about what students know and more about what students can do with what they know. Dr. Marsh's vision went beyond mere words on paper. He understood that the true essence of education lay in the intricate dance between diversity, masterful teaching, a well-balanced curriculum, and a vibrant tapestry of extracurricular activities. He championed the importance of close relationships between students and teachers, creating a nurturing environment where every individual felt valued, supported, and empowered to succeed. In the face of adversity, he remained steadfast in his commitment to our core values. He guided us through the stormy seas of COVID-19 with grace, resilience, ensuring that our school emerged stronger and more united than ever before. Dr. Marsh, as we welcome you to address the class of 2025, we would like to take a moment to thank you for your leadership, your vision, and your unwavering commitment to excellence. Please know that your legacy will continue to inspire us. We always strive to fly higher, just as you taught us to do. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Clayton Marsh, founding head of school of the Thaden School.
Thank you, Mr. Malloy. Thank you, everyone, for the warm welcome. I landed in Northwest Arkansas last evening. I was here on campus today and inspiring every step of the way. And I'm excited to be here for a few weeks. I'll be working with a couple of our colleagues to teach an intensive on Louise Thaden. And I'm digging in and I'm honoring the promise that I made at this occasion last year to come back early and often. And it's a delight to be here to celebrate you, the great class of 2025, to celebrate our 5th commencement. But it's another Thaden first. We brought it outside. We brought it out into nature under this beautiful sun. I love the way our student speakers have been rolling with the flyovers, the drive-bys, the blow-bys, everything. That's what a Thaden education is all about. And let's give it up again for our student speakers today. I mean, what a beautiful, all-encompassing portrait of a Thaden education in all of its texture and richness. Those were truly a pleasure. Our school will never be finished. It will always be a living, evolving institution. That's the beauty of it. But last spring, as I was wrapping up my work as your founding head of school, there was one piece of unfinished business that really nagged at me. I wanted to find a place to hang the 4 airplane props that each of our first 4 graduating classes had signed at their commencements. And I finally found the right place in Coleman, in North Hall, in the reception area, you may have noticed high above, there are these niches, one for each of those first 4 props, almost as if the space was designed for their enshrinement. But conspicuous to me was the 5th niche. There's an empty niche. It was the one closest to my office and classroom, and it left a hole in my heart to be leaving before we could fill that. So it gives me a tremendous sense of closure and completion to be with you here today for our 5th commencement, our 5th graduating class. And I understand that the formal execution of the signing of the prop is a detail that we need to take care of, but I look forward to doing that and seeing that prop up in its place of honor so that we can celebrate your contributions to the founding of this school as one of the founding classes here at Thaden. But, as we know, this ceremony is not a conclusion. It's not a closure. It's a beginning, a commencement. And while the sun may be setting on your Thaden years, it is also rising over your next horizon, wherever that may be. And as I have reminded all of our graduates on this occasion, you are not leaving Thaden, you are taking it with you. And those words, of course, held personal meaning for me last spring as I was preparing to return to New Jersey, where I had lived and worked for almost 30 years before moving to Bentonville. And I can say now that I feel the truth of those words every day as I see old friends and old places with new eyes. Thaden has enlarged my field of vision and heightened my powers of observation as it has for all of you. This was especially clear to me last winter when I visited a place called the Institute for Advanced Study. It's in Princeton, and it's a place of quiet intensity, tucked along the edge of a forest known as the Institute Woods. It was founded in 1930, and it was created to serve as a haven for theoretical physicists and mathematicians, many of whom were seeking to escape the hostilities taking root in Germany at that time. Among the first and most famous of the scholars to join the Institute was Albert Einstein. He would be a professor there for more than 20 years until his death in 1955. Many other luminaries would join him, including Robert Oppenheimer, the director there for 20 years. And today, the Institute still flourishes as one of the world's foremost centers for intellectual exchange and free inquiry without borders. So the Institute's campus was my backyard before I moved here. And on weekends, I would walk and jog through those woods while our children would ride their bicycles around Einstein Drive. It's a sleepy, private lane that encompasses the main campus green. We called it the Institute Loop. Occasionally, I would step inside Fold Hall, the Institute's first and most iconic building, to steal glances of its historic lobby and corridors, and I was wondering which of its many chalkboards once held Einstein's beautiful equations. I see a lot of the Institute in Thaden as a habitat for learning and discovery, our independence, our intimate human scale, our diverse campus community, and our commitment to curiosity-driven inquiry. In fact, many of my earliest ideas for Thaden School, well before it even had a name, were conceived while walking and riding around that institute loop. It is no accident that Einstein figures prominently in the earliest conceptions of Thaden, beginning with our mission statement, what Mr. Malloy described as our North Star. As you know, our mission, again, is to provide a balanced and challenging education. And I have often turned, as you may recall, to Einstein's words to illustrate the dynamic nature of the balance that we hope that our students will achieve here. Life is like riding a bicycle, he said. To keep your balance, you need to keep moving. During your Thaden years, you have worked hard to develop this sense of balance through a course of study that encompasses many disciplines and many modes of inquiry. You have learned to ride the bicycle, so to speak, the bicycle of your Thaden education around complex questions and issues, and to examine them from many different points of view, with care, with empathy, with curiosity, inside and outside of the classroom. Balance is achieved through motion. And like our logo, that wheel on a string that maintains its balance by moving back and forth, Einstein also circled back into my own thinking about Thaden after we returned to Princeton last June. Once again, we found a home near the Institute. And once again, I found myself walking around the loop. An old friend in town introduced me to the Institute's new director, David Nierenberg. He is a historian of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. And he was very curious to learn about Thaden and our work here. And so he invited me over for lunch. While I was waiting for Professor Nierenberg in the lobby of Fold Hall, just down the hallway from Einstein's old office, I noticed a photo, an old photo of a total solar eclipse hanging over the fireplace. I'd stood in that lobby many times before, but it was my Thaden experience that prepared me to see it this time with new insight and deeper curiosity. Now, as many of you all know, the line of the 2017 totality ran from Oregon down and across to South Carolina, while the line of the 2024 totality ran from Texas on up and across to Maine. And there was no better place on this continent to experience both celestial events than right here in Northwest Arkansas, our cosmic crossroads in the heartland. For me, those pilgrimages to witness the two totalities, first north to the little town of California, Missouri, and then east to Hendrix College in Conway, both of those pilgrimages loom large in my memories of Thaden because they so perfectly express the adventurous spirit of a school that finds its learning and its inspiration on the move and in the moment. And the corona of that totality, the ring of fire that encompasses the black mass of the moon. For those of you who have had the opportunity to experience that, you know there is simply no describing that. So you can imagine how the gravitational pull of the photo over the Institute fireplace operated irresistibly on the Thaden years that I had carried into that room. I walked over to study it and noticed that the photo had been marked to read like a compass. But the 4 points of the compass were not where I expected them to be. North was sort of down and to the left of the corona. South was up and to the right. West was way down below, and east was up at the top. But the placard beside the photo helped me regain my bearings. The photo had been found among Einstein's possessions when he died in 1955. And it had been taken in 1919 on an island off the coast of West Africa by a team of British astronomers, hoping to capture the first photographic evidence of Einstein's theory of relativity. And their efforts were successful. Until then, it had been a theory. Now there was scientific proof. What the photo revealed was that starlight, which was now observable in the shadows of the eclipse, was bending in response to the gravitational field of the sun and in ways that Newton's laws could no longer explain. That photo of the 1919 eclipse, like a cosmic compass, gave new direction and new force to a new age of scientific exploration and discovery. It transformed our conception of the cosmos. So here I am, standing at the crossroads of two foundational metaphors for Thaden: riding bicycles and chasing eclipses. Was there a connection between the two? Was I here by chance or by design or by some combo of the two? I often say we make our own luck, but I suspect that I'm more lucky than good at making it. And then again, as Einstein often remarked, God does not play dice. We find or make our signs as we will. And whatever you might believe, my encounter with that photo set me on a new course to learn more about the scientist and the humanitarian who looms so large in the metaphorical imagination of our school. And in Walter Isaacson's best-selling biography of Einstein, I came across another story from his life that again has remarkable resonance with your journey as a barnstorming community of eclipse chasers and cycle riders. The story goes like this. When Einstein was just 4 or 5 years old, he was sick at home, and to cheer him up, his father came home with a gift, a compass. Just like this, little pocket compass. And little boy Einstein held the compass in his hand, kind of coughing, sitting there. And then he watched the magnetic needle start to move under the influence of this invisible force. And he started to tremble, as if he had seen another world, as if he had seen a ghost. He had seen some tremendous invisible force. And that first encounter with the geomagnetic fields of the poles ignited in him a curiosity that set him on a lifelong journey into the outer reaches of the cosmos and the inner depths of atomic structures. But what that compass certainly revealed was the magnetic power of the poles, but most of all, what it revealed was the power of curiosity in the face of inscrutable mystery. In 1931, just as Einstein was preparing to immigrate to his new country, the United States, he said, "The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. The universe speaks to us in so many mysterious ways, in numbers, in music, in colors and forms, in the movements of bicycles, and in the movements of stars. And this evening, most of all, it speaks in you, the wondrous class of 2025. And on this occasion, as you prepare to carry the totality of your Thaden years into the world, I have come bearing gifts. Compasses for each of you. Like Einstein's compass, may it inspire you to follow your curiosity on life's journey of serendipitous encounters and cosmic alignments. And may you carry this joyous and liberating sense of curiosity along with your encompassing sense of balance. Together, they will enable you to fly far. But of course, we hope you will all stay close. Come back early and often to feel the magnetic embrace of the school that loves you so much. Congratulations. Here's to the class of 2025.
You'll each get one in addition to your diploma in just a few minutes. But first I wanted to share some thoughts and think about, I wanted to share a poem that was really, I heard it at a commencement ceremony, my twin nephew's commencement ceremony about 5 years ago. And it was really impactful for me. And I really thought at the time it had a lot of great advice for me. So I wanted to share it with you. As we gather here today to celebrate achievement, growth, and the bright promise of the future, it's easy to focus only on the joy and excitement that comes with a milestone like graduation. Most commencement ceremonies dwell in that sunshine, and rightfully so. But in doing so, they often overlook something just as important, the reality that life, even a good and full one, includes adversity. Louise Thaden, whose name our school proudly bears, understood this well. She soared to incredible heights, not in spite of obstacles, but because she faced those head on with courage, resilience, and an unwavering belief in what was possible. She once said, "It takes a crisis to bring out the best in us. It takes a challenge to keep us on top." That spirit of resilience is what we hope to carry forward from here. With that in mind, I want to share a poem by Shane Koizan titled "Instructions for a Bad Day." It's a reminder that bad days are not signs of failure. They're part of a life fully lived. This poem offers guidance, strength, and perspective, and I hope it stays with you as you encounter the inevitable ups and downs of your journey. May it remind you that even in the hard moments, you are capable, you are not alone, and you are still becoming. Instructions for a Bad Day by Shane Koizan. There will be bad days. Be calm. Loosen your grip. Open each palm slowly now. Let go. Be confident. Know that now is only a moment, and that if today is as bad as it gets, understand that by tomorrow, today will have ended. Be gracious. Accept each extended hand offered to pull you back from the somewhere you cannot escape. Be diligent. Scrape the gray sky clean. Realize every dark cloud is a smokescreen meant to blind us from the truth. And the truth is, whether we see them or not, the sun and moon are still there, and always there is light. Be forthright. Despite your instinct to say, it's all right, I'm okay, be honest. Say how you feel without fear or guilt, without remorse or complexity. Be lucid in your explanation. Be sterling in your oppose. If you think for 1 second no one knows what you've been going through, be accepting of the fact that you were wrong, that the long drawn and heavy breaths of despair have at times been felt by everyone, that pain is part of the human condition, and that alone makes you legion. We hungry underdogs, we risers with dawn, we dismissers of odds, we pressers of on. We still station ourselves to the calm. We will hold ourselves to the steady. Be ready, player one. Life is going to come at you armed with hard times and tough choices. Your voice is your weapon. Your thoughts, ammunition. There are no free extra men. Be aware that as the instant now passes, it exists now as then. So be a mirror, reflecting yourself back and remembering the times when you thought all of this was too hard and that you'd never make it through. Remember the times you could have pressed quit, but you hit continue. Be forgiving. Living with the burden of anger is not living. Giving your focus to wrath will leave your entire self absent of what you need. Love and hate are beasts, and the one that grows is the one you feed. Be persistent. Be the weed growing through the cracks in the cement, beautiful because it doesn't know it's not supposed to grow there. Be resolute. Declare what you accept as true in a way that envisions the resolve with which you accept it. If you're having a good day, be considerate. A simple smile could be the first aid kit that someone has been looking for. If you believe with absolute honesty that you are doing everything you can, do more. There will be bad days, times when the world weighs on you for so long it leaves you looking for an easy way out. There will be moments when the drought of joy seems unending, instances spent pretending that everything is all right when it clearly is not. Check your blind spot. See that love is still there. Be patient. Every nightmare has a beginning, but every bad day has an end. Ignore what others have called you. I am calling you friend. Make us comprehend the urgency of your crisis. Silence left to its own devices breeds silence. So speak and be heard. One word after the next, express yourself and put your life into context. If you find that no one is listening, be loud, make noise, stand in poise, and be open. Hope in these situations is not enough, and you will need someone to lean on. In the unlikely event that you have no one, look again. Everyone is blessed with the ability to listen. The deaf will hear you with their eyes. The blind will see you with their hands. Let your heart fill with their newsstands. Let them read all about it. Admit to the bad days, the impossible nights. Listen to the insights of those who have been there but have come back. They'll tell you, you can stack misery. You can pack despair. But you can even wear your sorrow. But come tomorrow, you must change your clothes. Everyone knows pain. We are not meant to carry it forever. We were never meant to hold it so closely. So be certain in the belief that what pain belongs to now will belong soon to then. That when someone asks how you are today, realize that for some of us, it's the only way we know to say, be calm. Loosen your grip. Open each palm slowly. Let go. Congratulations to the class of 2025. All right, at this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Bonham, Ms. Wise, and Dr. Marsh to the stage. We are going to give out diplomas and gifts. It is the presentation of the diplomas.
Lou Adler. Cesar Alvarez. Robert Apple. Laura Bailey. Eva Becker. River Blaisdell. Emery Brandt. Caton Dean. William Eckert. Cameron Elam. Faith Friddle. Sienna Fusco. Ava Gibbs. James Green. Marissa Green. Lecton Geltson. Genevieve Hickox. Rowan Hintz. Arden Jones. Ashling Kenny. Austin Krug. Catherine Lewis. Landon Martin. Meadow McGinnis. Trevor Miller. Christopher Brett Milligan. Danny Mull. Chelsea Mosqueda. Eve Reagan. Madison Reibling. Elizabeth Reyna Soto. Valeria Rodriguez Juarez. Anais Rogers. Leo Roth. Greenlee Sanchez. Luis Vaca. Thorin Vincent. Allison Whitaker. Lila Wilkinson. Hudson Wilson. One last round of applause for the class of 2025.
As we conclude today's ceremony, there are some important thank yous that I'd like to extend. First of all, to our principal funders, the Walton Family Foundation and the Walton Charitable Support Foundation, Olivia and Tom Walton, and Kelly and Stuart Walton. Their philanthropy has made Thaden possible over the last 8 years, and I want to give them a special shout out today. I also want to thank the many people who have made philanthropic contributions to Thaden through the Athletic and Physical Education and Wellness Capital Campaign, through the annual fund, through our community dinner, through our bingo night, through our board of directors gala, through sponsorships and naming opportunities. Thank you all so much for that support. It means so much. Also, I'd like to thank our board of directors, and our president, David Sloan. If the board is here, would you please stand for a moment? David? Their unwavering support and guidance has really made Thaden possible and also ensures its future, and the future is going to be bright. I also want to thank the parents and guardians here. Your partnership in your young people's education has been foundational for us, and it's made all of this possible. And that really, thank you so much, because we could create, Dr. Marsh can create this beautiful idea, we can have this beautiful school, but unless you come and are partners in it, it remains a theory, it remains a possibility. I'd also like to thank our professional community, our faculty and support staff. Their commitment and dedication make the day-to-day education here possible. I also want to thank Shannon Miller. Shannon, are you? We would not be out here today if it weren't for Shannon Miller. He took this dream and made it a reality, from the sound system to the stages, everything. I also want to ask Sienna Fusco and Addison Reibling to stand up for a moment, please. These two young ladies came to us, it was about 8 months ago, right? It was about 8 months ago, and they said, you know, the pack is beautiful, but it's so few people, we really want to be able to invite more people to our commencement. And we said, okay. And they said, you know, if you guys want to go out and do some research and think about alternative venues, alternative possibilities, let me tell you, they pounded the pavement. They looked up and down for venues, possibilities. They did all sorts of research and really, you know, attribute. And listen, I selfishly want to claim that it's because of your Thaden education, but it's also because of your gumption and your dedication and your resilience and your willingness to, in the face of lots of no's, because there were lots of no's, that's not going to work, that's not going to work, that's not going to work. You persisted, and we are here today because of your persistence and your vision. Thank you. At the conclusion, as our class of 2025 recesses, they will go across the street and we will hold a reception in the Grove. Please join us in the Grove for a reception. Now I'd like to invite Addison Reibling to come and read the salutation poem.
Hello, everyone, and thank you again for coming to celebrate this momentous occasion with us as we graduate. Today, it is far too easy to focus on the end of the journey rather than the journey itself. To help us celebrate the amazing journeys of the class of 2025, past, present, and future, we have chosen the poem Ithaca by a Greek poet named Constantine Cavafy. The poem itself is inspired by Homer's The Odyssey, which depicts Odysseus' return to his home island, Ithaca. Cavafy evokes Homer's Odyssey to encourage us to focus on the importance of the journey rather than the destination. Congratulations again to the class of 2025, and may all your journeys be long, fruitful, and adventurous. I will now read Ithaca by Constantine Cavafy. As you set out for Ithaca, hope your road is a long one, full of adventure and full of discovery. Lystrygonians, Cyclops, angry Poseidon, don't be afraid of them. You'll never find things like that on your way, as long as you keep your thoughts raised high, as long as a rare excitement stirs your spirit and your body. Lystrygonians, Cyclops, wild Poseidon, you won't encounter them unless you bring them along inside your soul, unless your soul sets them up in front of you. Hope your road is a long one. May there be many summer mornings when, with what pleasure and what joy, you enter harbors you're seeing for the first time. May you stop at Phoenician trading stations to buy fine things, mother of pearl and coral, amber and ebony, sensual perfume of every kind, as many sensual perfumes as you can. and may you visit many Egyptian cities to learn and go on learning from their scholars. But keep Ithaca always in your mind. Arriving there is what you're destined for, but don't hurry the journey at all. Better if it lasts for years, so you're old by the time you reach the island. Wealthy with all you've gained along the way, not expecting Ithaca to make you rich. Ithaca itself gave you the marvelous journey. Without her, you wouldn't have set out. She has nothing left to give you now. And if you find her poor, Ithaca won't have fooled you. Wise as you will have become, so full of experience, you'll understand by then what these Ithacas mean. Thank you.
I know it's impossible to think but one last piece of advice from our namesake Louise Thaden. In her memoir, High, Wide, and Frightened, she gave us some excellent advice. She said, flying is a lot like life. The only way to make a smooth landing is to keep your eyes on the horizon, your hands steady on the controls, and your spirit braced for whatever's next. So first of all, I'd like to ask the class of 2025 to stand. I would like you to move your tassel from the right to the left, symbolizing the completion of the ceremony. Now, family, friends, guests, faculty, staff, and board members, it is with great pleasure that I present to you the class of 2025. Together we fly.